here we are. Preston have chucked me in the deep end. It's a live match and we're here at Manor Farm in Evesham. So I'm gonna go and do the draw now. Let's go. So we're at the peg now. We've drawn 22 on Ash. So the match is split over Ash Lake and Island. So yeah, we've drawn 22 on Ash, which is a corner peg. There is a little bit of wind on here, and what wind has been on the lake is actually pushing into this corner, which is always a good thing. Been told it's like the shallower end of the lake as well, so first thoughts on the peg. It looks quite nice, to be fair. Saying it's shallow, we've still got like 5 foot of water in front of us at 13 meters, so yeah, peg looks really nice. We've got some room up to our left, so hopefully catch a few fish in the edge later, or short perhaps. Plan's going to be to start with pellets just to see if we can get some fish, and then prime a maggot line for shallow, and then hopefully finish up in the edge or short and catch a load. So yeah, I'm going to set a little method rod to fish up the bank. So there has been a couple of fish moving up the bank as well, so I don't want to do that straight away, because like I feel like if there is some fish, I want to catch them on the pole. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I do apologise for interrupting the video, folks, but if you're enjoying this content, or like myself and all the other Preston Innovations consultants, then please, please, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification button. And that's going to tell you when we're putting out these fantastic videos. Hey!
So it's about 2 minutes before the all-in. Plan is to start on pellets, just hopefully get a quick response, because it's usually a fast acting sort of bait. I'm also going to prime a maggot line, which I'm hoping to catch shallow over, hopefully. Going to chuck some ground bait down the edge. Obviously being in a corner, got to try and utilise this now. So obviously just going to put a bit of ground bait in there. You never know, might catch a few early fish down there as well. I'm going to also prime some meat lines short as well. Obviously getting to that spring sort of time now where meat will come into its own. So fingers crossed we can literally just chuck a couple of bits of meat over a couple of lines and catch some quality fish. If they don't go on the meat, then we've always got the option of chucking, like I know maggots work well here. So yeah, just chuck in 2 or 3 bits of meat. The last thing I want to do is be like chucking loads of meat in, because I don't want, like, if they're not eating it, loads of meat left on the bottom, because I think it'll ruin it then for potentially changing it to a maggot line. So yeah, just hopefully chuck 2 or 3 bits in, and be nice to just sack up on our late. So there we are, there's the all in. I'm just going to kick that edge off now with like 200 mil of ground bait. The wind's coming in here lovely now, so I'd like to think we'll have a few fish down there at some point. So with ground bait choice today, we've gone 50-50, like 2 pints of Super Crush Green and the other half Expander. It's a really nice mix size, to be fair. It's not like too heavy. I didn't want it too heavy food content, with it still being quite early, so crushed expander is a great ground bait for just drawing some fish in, and we obviously got a little bit of food content there then as well, so hopefully catch on maybe some live maggots or maybe like meat over it. So to kick off, I'm just going to fish a 4mm expander, and I'm just going to clump pot some micros in to kick off. I obviously with it warming up a little bit now, I think it's probably a little bit negative to be just rattling in a couple of pellets, so I would just want to set a little trap and hopefully get some fish. Just lower that pot onto the water, just let it melt out. There we go. Maybe just draw that rig right over the top of it. So just fishing a 4x14 F1 XS. So it's just a 1.7mm hollow bristle, carbon body, carbon stem I should say, not body. It's like exactly the same sort of shape as a F1 maggot, just obviously slightly thicker tip. But this will be my float now. I'll be using for everything. Short, long, edges where it's like 2 foot plus. If I was to fish anything sort of 2 foot or less, and I'd change to like a bodied carp shallow sort of float. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on what everybody else is doing as well, because obviously I've never been here before. But I've been told maggots are really good on here. Temperature's supposed to be pretty decent today as well, getting up to about 17 degrees. 15 degrees. I think it was up to 17 yesterday. But this wind is quite keen, it's quite cool. Yeah, I've seen a few fish moving in this bay, like turning over and stuff as well, so fingers crossed we can get amongst a few. So I decided to just fish maggots at like 13 metres, slightly to my right, where it's a little bit deeper. Sort of shallows up quite a bit as you go further to my left. And there's probably a 6 inches deeper to my right. So I think the target species is predominantly F1s. There is supposed to be some good carp in here as well. Just keep pinging their maggots into the... Just give it a little lift and drop though, just to see if we can entice something. Weather's absolutely mint today, so we're gonna surely should get some good sport at some point. I'd like to think so anyway. We've waited it seems an age to have some tidy weather. Hoping spring is here now. And some good fishing is on the horizon. So like I said, the plan is just to start on them pellets, just while we're priming them maggots. I don't like to go straight on the maggots. I feel like it's a line that needs to be built up. And I haven't gone too far out, because like, you need to be able to group your maggots as well. The last thing you want to be doing is going like 14, 16 metres and then not being able to get the bait there. So what I'm going to do is just chuck a tiny amount of meat in as well, short. Not too much. So it's a slow start, probably almost 10 minutes in now. I haven't seen anybody on the lake have a fish yet. So I'm just going to get my head down on this pellet line now, hopefully tick over, get 1 or 2 fish underway, and hopefully when I've had a bit more action, I'll catch up with you in a bit. So just hooked our first fish now. It's been a real slow start. It's probably like almost half an hour into the match now. But yeah, it's been slow for me. I don't think I've seen anybody catch, well, 1 or 2 odd small fish but nothing of any size. But I was literally, like 2 seconds before this, I thought, right, if this doesn't go, I'm gonna have to try and get on their maggots just to see if we can get an indication, because it just feels like there's literally no life. And as I was thinking of it, the float's just gone under, so might have to have one more chuck on it now. Nice fish to start. £1.5 as well. So I'll give you one more chuck on the pellets just to see if it wasn't a fluke. But if not, I can see me moving on to their maggots pretty quickly, because just like I said, it's 30 minutes in now, and that's the only decent fish I've seen caught. Same again, 4mm expander, just half a pot of micros. Could be that these fish are moving into shallower water earlier than we think, because this the sun is on this edge, but perhaps you might need to get into shallow water. Well, not proper shallow, like, do you mean, but 2, maybe 3 foot. So we still got a decent depth at this, probably, yeah, just over 5.5 foot out there. But generally, where there's one F1, there should be a couple more. I'm just going to keep priming them maggots. The only good thing about this, we have given this maggot line a good half-hour pinging now. Oh, there's another indication. Might be that there's an odd one coming to the swim now. Of course, a massive F1. That is a queen. That's a beast, that one. Probably get on £4 that one. I'm going to take many of them to do a tidy weight. So yeah, behave. Swim away now. I got £5 in the net now. Maybe I just need to be a little bit more patient, perhaps. Just happy we're underway now. I was fearing the worst then. First live match, under pressure by the big man and blank. Oh no, that would be disastrous. We're underway a little bit now, so hopefully we can enjoy it now and catch a few fish. Just gonna ping a little bit of meat on that short line as well. Not too many, like 2 or 3 cubes. Really do fancy that to go. Really slow start. I haven't seen like anybody catch a decent fish yet. Hopefully they're all balled up in this bay now. I can be really nasty and have them all here. Nah, I'm joking. I hope everybody has a nice day, to be fair. I think what will be a good indicator on their maggots if they are actually down there in that depth of water. If they are feeding shallow out there, it could be a good chance that we're going to catch, and say for instance if we catch out there if we catch out there perhaps 2.5 foot deep, that they could be down these edges in the same sort of depth of water. Like I probably found about 2.5 foot, probably about 1 metre off the bank. That's where I fed. I have got the chance of coming into a touch shallower water, but I just think the water clarity doesn't seem coloured enough to warrant going into that depth, but we'll see what indications we get and go from there. Looking around the lake, it's really slow. There's not much game. Well, like I said, just an odd silverfish. Oh, look at that. Tiniest of indications. This is great now, starting to get a few bites. Feels a good fish or something. Yes, only fishing right to 012. It's a big carp, this one. Does feel a big heavy fish, this one, whatever it is. Behave, come on. What is important when you do hook a big fish like this? Break down like halfway just so you can get a good angle on it, and obviously you've got your sections close by then if he does run off. So I think it's day 362 of playing this fish now. Just doesn't want to come up. You need that meme now a few moments later. Oh, a few months later.
A few moments later.
There's nothing, hardly, well, I've just seen one fish get caught up on the top bank now. Lad on the feeder. There's like literally nothing getting caught up. Lad next was catching a few silverfish shallow, but I'm trying to take my time. This is a really big fish. I don't think it's up tidy, but it's a bloody big fish, I know that. Playing it a bit gingerly because I've only got an 012 or clamp on and a 16 SFLB. Them hooks are strong, but I think if I had a GPM or something on, I'd feel a little bit more I'd feel a little bit more confident with a big fish like this. Like, I mean, they're not designed for, well, I feel like this is a 10 pound plus fish, like, but need a bigger boat, mate. Oh, that's a big fish, that one. It's a brute. Yeah, it's in the mouth. Lovely fish, that is, huh? Get in the net, sir. It's a nice one. Oh, I'm not sure how many months that was, but good God. Just goes to show though, like doing this, as long as your kit's balanced. I've obviously got 11 Dura slip for a long kit. And obviously an 012 hook length with a 16 SFLB. It just goes to show how strong them hooks are. I absolutely love them, to be fair. It's probably my favourite hook. They're so like deceivingly strong for the gauge of them. Don't get me wrong, I do wish I had a GPM beyond then when I was playing that fish. But like I said, as long as you get your kit balanced, you can get anything out. So I'm just going to pot a little bit more ground bait in that edge, because I have seen like a couple of fish turning over when I've seen, well, a bit further down the bank, right? But yeah, there's been a couple of fish moving, and obviously with the sun coming on the water now, it could be that obviously where the water is getting warmer and that, well, sorry, when the sun is on that water, it'll warm it up quicker. So I haven't gone too far down the peg. I don't want to go too far and push them right out, you know what I mean? So we're an hour in now, still on the pallet line. I've managed 2 F1s for around about £5. And I've just had a lovely carp, probably getting on for double figures. That'll give me a right run around, mind. But it's been a bit of a slow start, to be honest. So looking around the lake, I've seen 1 or 2 fish get caught on the top bank. A couple of silverfish, but yeah, we've probably got around about £15 in the net, so yeah, decent hour update. Obviously we're still priming them maggots up on the 30-metre line. That will be the next gambit. I was hoping to get on there a little bit quicker on this, but I'm not too worried because I feel like the longer we prime it, this should theoretically be better. Obviously we're just still priming them a meat short line, and obviously the edge line with ground bait and fish maggots or meat over there. Like, I have seen an odd fish move a bit further up the bank, so it could be that we'll see how that maggot line gets on over there now. We may have to fish like potting maggots further up the bank a little bit, perhaps, in like 2.5, 3 foot of water. So there has been an odd F1 turn up there. I'm just so glad we started on them pellets now, because I was a little bit unsure what to do, to be honest with you. And obviously people have told me that maggots are the bait on all the lakes, to be fair. Like, I used to come here probably 12 to 15 years ago, a long time, showing my age, but it used to be all pellets back then. But yeah, just like I said, I'm just glad I've had a go starting there. It hasn't been brilliant, we've had 3 fish, but it just gives me an opportunity now to prime them other lines. I believe we're fishing till 4, so I think it's like a 5.5 hour match, something like that. So hopefully we can have a nice run on that, up and down, shallow hopefully. The only thing I'm worried about now is it has gone absolutely flat calm. You want a little bit of a ripple on it for shallow. But yeah, hopefully we can report back to you a little bit later now, or next hour, and we've got a few more fishing in that. So we're 2 hours in now, and it's a little bit slower than what I thought it was going to be. Obviously we had the first couple of fish on pellets in the first hour. I literally had those 3 fish, and I was expecting to go onto the maggot line and just fire away there, but it's just haven't got going at all, maggot line. I did see an odd fish turning over down the edge, like further up the bank, so it made me think, are they in shallower water? So I've gone down the edge a little bit earlier than expected, potting ground bait and fishing 3 red maggots on the hook. And then I caught 2 F1s quite quick, but that seems to have not materialised, to be honest with you. So I've big potted that and left it alone. So just come on my meat short line. Literally after like 2 or 3 minutes, I've had a whack under, and I've fouled up a big carp, I think it was, but it's just sort of like tore off and pulled out, so lost that one. But I've just gone back in now, and I've just had an F1 probably about 2-3 pounds. So what I've done now is just opened up another line the other side of me, because if they start to eat meat, you can sort of like bounce, like catch one here, then go on to another line, catch one. There's an odd fish getting caught short opposite. An odd fish around the lake, but it's not fishing great at all, to be honest. It's quite hard. So whether the frost, well, it was probably near a frost last night. It was really cold. Whether that's put pay to it a little bit, but it's still priming maggots for shallow. Because like I said, if they turn up on that, these fish are massive. So it ain't gonna take many fish to put a weight together, or like I said, if we can get a couple down the edge or on this short line, it ain't going to take many fish because they're a good stamp. But yeah, we'll just keep plugging away on these lines now, and hopefully we can get a little run of fish put together for you, and it'll make it a bit more amusing, because it's quite tough at the minute, I'll be honest with you. But the temperature seemed to be rising a little bit now, so you never know. It might get good now in the next hour or so. So we'll catch up with you then. So just bounce back onto the other meat line now and just had another one. Massive fish. Just lost one as well, but hopefully now there's a few fish about, you know. I'm going to take many fish to take the cameraman out. I'm going to take many fish to put a weight together. But it seems to be an odd one getting caught now on the edge, and I mean like right against the grass. So whether they have really come into shallow water, obviously with the sun on the water now. It might be a case of replumbing my edge line right against the grass. I'm happy I'm getting a few bites on this meat now, because they tend to be real good stamp when you get them on this. Oh, yeah, another quick fish now. That's two real quick fish, literally just 6mm piece of meat. Just feeding like 2 pieces at a time. Once they start getting a taste for this meat, it's unbelievable fishing. It can be, anyway. We've had 2 quick fish here now and lost one, so alright, and we're going to have another one now as well. Even when these fish are there, you just got to be patient and literally just chuck like 2 pieces of meat right at the float. The last thing you want to be doing is just oofing loads of bait in. Might be a case of just having like 2 or 3 fish per and I'll bounce onto another line, like same depth the other side here. So what I do is just pick that rig up now, just back over here, repeat the process, literally just 2 bits of meat on the float. There we go. It's important not to just sit on a line. It's easy to do sometimes when you have a quick bite or two, do you mean? It's just, you think, oh, I'm going to just slaughter them, but nice thing is now I can open another line up the same side as me, same depth, and if it does get really good, it might be a case of setting the rig up even closer, just in a little bit shallower water. Whip that rig out. 2 pieces of meat, 2 over there. Just starve them under the oil. Once you start getting a taste for this meat, it can be bloody deadly at times. And there'll be good stamp fish as well. So what I'll do now is just leave our line alone now. Go back onto the other one. Literally just chuck 2 or 3 bits of meat right on the float and just sit and wait. At times when they want it, they can just literally have it on a drop or snaff this straight out your hand. But I don't want to give up on it because I just know if we can get a run of fish on it, it could just be a frightening weight on the cards then. Let's give you a little lift and drop. Seems to be when you get a bites as well. Either when you're dropping it in or just a little lift and drop and whack. When it's sat there for a period of time, it just never seems to go really. It's usually as you're just laying your rig in or a little lift and drop like that. It seems to be like when it's sat there for a little while, there's nothing happening to it. This might be a carp. Yeah. Nice sensible kit though, do you mean 15 Dura slip through, 13 Dura slip through a long kit, 017 power line, and 011 hook length to a 16 GPMB. Well, I think I'm going to do once I get this fishing, I'm going to replumb these edges and put a bit of bait on the margins. There's another nice fish like that. Carp probably, got to be getting on for £6 probably. Right, so 3.5 hours in now, and it's not really materialising, I'll be honest with you. I've probably had about 1 or 2, well, maybe 1 fish since we spoke last. I thought, obviously when I was fishing those meat lines, I was having an odd foul looker, and I thought, coming a little bit closer to me, a little bit shallow water, cleaner bottom, might get one or two. But literally went in, I had one first chuck, and I thought, oh yes, and that was it. That was it. But I've just hooked something now. I'm not sure if it's hooked properly or it's a carp. Feels pretty meaty, whatever it is. Excuse the pun. But yeah, it's a proper tricky day. Like, everyone seems to be having like one or two fish, and then it's just dying on them. But I feel like I need to have a good plunder in that edge now in a minute, and see if I can get a run, because it's just really, this seems to be like, get one or two fish, but it's just not materialising, if anything. Shallow just seems like well, I'm still feeding it, but it just never feels like it's going to get going, because like it's so difficult to group the bait out there. The wind is all over the shop. It's coming in here, then it's in my face. It's hard work at the minute, but I do feel like if you could get a run shallow, you could have a frightening weight, to be honest with you. Just hoping we can get this one out now. Feels a decent. If it's definitely a carp, it's just whether it's up tidy or not, I'm not sure. Everybody seems to be suffering a few hook pulls today. I don't know whether it's because they're like not feeding properly, you know, they're just coming in and you're just nicking them around the mouth.
A few moments later.
Oh, it's a big mirror. Yep, we got him. Quite a beast. You are a beast. Well played, sir. Oh. Well played. Nice fish, that one. I'll rest in there, buddy. You've earned it. Right, what I'm gonna do now, like, it seems to be like the time of the day now where it feels like it's gonna be, they're gonna have a munch. So what I'm gonna do is big pot that edge down there. Just gonna put a bit more water in our ground bait now, wet him up. Drying out a little bit there in the sun. Big pot in now, and drag some fish in. Ooh. I really feel like with this wind coming in, it's got to be good at some point there. It's a sensible depth against the bank as well. I think what I might do as well is, when I do get a couple of fish coming in there, is put some micros in with it as well. Just want to make sure they come in there first. Let that ground bait do its job. And then fish like 50-50 micros and ground bait. And then just fish like some maggots on yuck, or a piece of meat. Maggots probably, because it's a bit more durable. I just don't want to give up on that shallow line, because I know if you can get a run of fish together, it'd be so easy to catch on that, and these F1s are like frighteningly big. They're like, well, I don't know, they've got to be averaging over £3 a piece. Fella next to me is had a few fish in the edge. He's, in all fairness to him, he's trying his hardest to make the long pole line where it's just the wind is right in our face. It's horrible. And see him struggling away, and I'm thinking this might be the same year, to be honest. It's just really difficult to group the bait properly to put a weight together shallow. And with that gent opposite catching in the edge, like, and I mean right against the grass, I feel like that's how we're gonna have to catch, especially with this wind blowing into our bank. Really hoping we can get a nice run of fish up that bank there, because it's like nice quiet. It's been left alone. There has been some fish showing up that bank, like further round, crashing. There we are. These next couple of weeks are going to be absolutely brilliant for meat now, as soon as I start having a taste for this. It was like, I wasn't sure whether to fish meat today. I know the boys have said they've been catching on maggots here. But we all know like springtime's a really good time to fish meat. But you've got to get that temperature raise. And we seem to have had that now, luckily, the last couple of days, so fingers crossed now. A bit more steady weather, and there should be plenty more fishing like this now. Because it can be tremendous fishing, this can, literally. And you don't have to fish far. Probably it's actually better to fish closer to you, because the bottom's cleaner. That's what you want. You want a nice hard clean bottom. The last thing you want is them digging up all the silt. Makes them really hard work. Like, I know it's great, you can see them there fizzing and stuff, but you'll just end up having a whole world of pain with like foul hookers and stuff. That's why it's important to come closer to, find some hard bottom. That's why I feel like if our top kit line will go, we'll have a nice run of fish there, and you'll find there'll be them big boys as well. Like, you'll have carp there and the big daddy F ones. We're just going to keep plodding away now on these meat lines for a little while, and then get down that edge end, I think, for the last period of the match anyway. Not sure if that's up tidy. Just going straight in the edge there now, and hooked on first chuck. I don't know if it's a bit of a fluke or not, but we'll take it if he comes in. I'm sure it's foul up the way he popped up. There we go. More than welcome. Great start now though. Right in the wing. What I'm going to do is just shorten my lash down a little bit. And what we can do now is just prepare their meat lines again now. Hopefully they'll come good again. They haven't been bad when there's been some fish on them. Or we could just finish up down here. I don't mind. Beggars can't be choosers. Just get that right over the top of that ground, you know. that's what we want. A nice little run now. Get us right back in the mixer. These F1s are absolutely pearlers. Huge. Nice big dark ones. Wow, got a size of that. Gotta be average £3 then. It's lovely fishing when you can get them in the edge, to be fair. Another fish just crashed up the edge, so there's got to be some fish up that edge. What I've done now with my ground bait as well is packed it up with micros as well. Feel like the ground bait's done its job now. Obviously there's not a mass amount of food content, so I just want to put some micros in now just to hold whatever's there. 3 maggots on the hook. So I could use a piece of meat or something if I wanted to. I just feel with maggots it's a bit more durable. Clipped off, right? I think that was foul up, to be honest. What I am going to do is go down there and plumb it again just to see if I can get in a touch shallower water. So I do feel like they're coming in proper now. Probably about an inch over 2 foot there. Might be able to get him so just try and persevere with that a second, but I have got an opportunity to try and get in like an inch or 2 shallower. I do feel like this 13 Dura slip was absolutely mint for these F1s. I think anything heavier, you'll probably find you'll pull the hook on them. Be careful, there's a lot of rubbish coming in this. Right now. Reset that trap. Might be a case of we gotta come back and feed again. Because generally when you've potted and you miss your bite, that's your opportunity gone. I will give it a quick minute. Yeah. Don't sit there and waste time, because when you miss that bite, what you find is them fish will just smash all your bait everywhere, and you're sat over no feed anymore. Just keep our meat lines topped up. So it's just a case of resetting our trap again now. So we're in the last hour now, and feels like it's gone away from us a little bit. It felt like it was grafting away. It just felt like it was waiting for that magic hour for them to either just turn up short or turn up in the edge. It seemed like it was going to end up going that way. They just completely shut up shop coming in here, and feels like they've gone away from us now, to be honest with you. The lads opposite us have had a really good run shortening the edge. And I've tried everything, starting new lines, trying different baits, got to change my meat lines to maggots, because I feel like that's what the lad opposite is catching on. And yeah, it just seems to have gone away. I've just picked my shallow rig up out of desperation. I've just nabbed one quickly on a fixed rig, missed a load of bites, so I chucked an overshotted rig on, got one literally first go in, like, but it's gone flat calm again now, so it feels like it's having a worse effect now. But yeah, it's been difficult, like, really. I haven't been able to line anything up. We just sort of like 1 or 2 fish off a line. It's like this now, 2 quick fish, and they just disappear on you. Really strange, to be honest. It's like they want to have a go, but they don't. But it's been a nice day, sat in the sun. I've had a few fish. It's can't be for not trying, because I've literally tried my guts out here. Just as you think, oh yeah, got something lined up, you have two fish, and they just desert you. So important to keep other lines going, where it's just literally you bounce onto another line, have a fish, go back in, no bites. That's been the story of the day, to be honest with you. Real difficult start, and 3 fish out the blue. And then when you get to the killing hour now, you think, right, I'm going to empty it. Like, the lads opposite, they've caught, like, from the middle part of the match to the end, pretty steady, to be fair. They've just, the ones stayed short, the other one stayed in the edge, like, fishing really close to them, patient. Maybe that's my trouble, I haven't been patient enough, perhaps, just wanting to give it some. It backfired on me a bit now. I did feel like it was going well at one point. I thought, oh, this peg's just going to get stronger and stronger, but if anything, it's just go weaker and weaker. But that's fishing. You can have your pants down when you think it's going well. That's it. There we are. That's the end of that. Been a nice day. A few fish. Just not enough, unfortunately. Even the lads on the top, fella around the corners had a few fish as well, so we'll get weighed in and see what we got. Right, fella, you okay?
Oh, not too bad.
What's the lads at opposite?
Hey?
What they had opposite?
71, I think it was.
Was it? Is that best weight over there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, all right. 76.
76.
Is that the lads opposite there?
Yeah. Pablo.
Pablo.
Do more than that on here.
Oh, not.
Been the Impeg over the weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've put it to shame then.
Wear these first, yeah?
Yeah, go for a bit.
76 so far.
£41, Dad. What's another one?
I don't know, I was hoping the same, but might be struggling.
No, he's fantastic. 48 10.
89.10.
So we've just weighed in. I've weighed in just over £89, which has actually won this lake and second overall in the match. There's been a 91 on the other lake. I think there's been a 70 as well. A couple of 70s on here, so it's been terrific fishing, absolutely stunning fish. Started off on pellets, caught a couple of fish. Did start getting a few on meat short, but it just never materialised, and I just felt like I was chasing shadows a little bit, to be honest. Just bouncing around on lines. But yeah, caught a couple in the edge, ground bit of maggots. But yeah, it's been a good day. Really enjoyed it. Second overall, so I failed massively to rumble, so he's gonna have to find someone else now. But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed it.